A big thank you to MK Blades. Hi Yazzers, Jodi Porter here. I want to thank Audrey, Sheila, and Doug for the opportunity to be a part of the Young Artist Showcase Season 4. It has been an amazing season. The contestants should be so proud of all the work that you have put into this. Really, the field has been so strong this year, and congratulations to all of you. And now to the Champions Division. First I have Yebin. Yebin, you are an amazing performer and artist. The conviction that you gave to your performances is top notch. I commend you on your performance quality. The piece for me was one of my favorites from you, starting with the strong asymmetrical and unconventional body shape and developing that throughout the piece. Your connecting movements traveling throughout the space were seamless, and I enjoyed your dynamic energy change and contrast with the sliding stops that complemented the highlight of the music. Followed by your increase in tempo with the toe turns, that was a very nice moment for me. I appreciated the structure of your ABA format, returning to the end pose, but then adding a slight twist that allowed the audience to be taken on a journey. Wonderful development. Bravo. My only critique would be that you utilized the full stage space. You had the entire rink open to yourself, and I would have loved to see that piece move out throughout the entire space. Fabulous job. Really appreciate your work, Yebin. 4.5 stars. Stephanie, congrats on your first experience with MKYAS. Congratulations, wonderful work. I really enjoyed the musicality of this piece and the sense of steps that match the musical tone. I also enjoyed your flow and edge quality. I wish the camera zoom would have been just a little bit better so that I could have seen the edge work and movement that you had at the upstage. But for me, this piece seemed to feel a little bit long on the footwork sequence side. It didn't really integrate into a larger theme, but I thought you did an excellent job of connecting all of those footwork sequence steps. And I would have liked to seen it developed in with a further theme or further development, and integrating your full body movement as well. Also consider how to create more variation and use the full stage space of the rink. I know it's probably difficult finding someone to film, but ultimately, we're looking at the piece as a whole and what the entire stage space would bring. Consider using more curves and change of direction in your patterning on the ice. Keep going. I can see your passion and I enjoyed your work of the season. Congratulations, 3.5 stars. Justine, also welcome to MKYAS. Great job your first season. As far as this piece goes, I really liked your sensitivity to the music and the choices that you made moving your body. I felt like you used the whole stage space well. As you mentioned in the piece, it had a lot of ideas pieced together, and for me it was a little difficult to follow thematically. I can see your passion for creating, and I think if you're able to continue to learn and study choreographic form, you may be able to organize your thoughts a little more clearly. Create a theme. Find a beginning, middle, and end, and find the clarity in your voice. I can see a lot of potential in you. Please keep going. Great job, 3.5 stars. Kate, wow. This was a standout piece of work for me for this showcase. It was a complete piece that you were able to create here. You introduced a clear theme. The theme was developed in a variety of ways. You were seamless in your integration of the required steps. It never looked like a footwork sequence piece. You were able to transcend that to a larger theme and a larger idea, and it was very clear. Your movement vocabulary used the full body shape with flow and lean of the edges, which is very difficult and very well done. The musical choices both matched the dynamics of the movement, but also created tension and contrast when you chose to use a fast tempo juxtaposed with the slow melody. I really like that part. You created an internal rhythm with your skater, and that drew my attention into the piece. You used the entire ice surface. Thank you so much for doing that, with a variety of patterns that was mindful to the camera. The quality of movement was breathtaking, adding beautiful flow and texture to the piece. Lastly, your coaching to direct the skater's emotional connection to the piece was superb. I could feel and was connected with his ability to emote to the audience. This piece transcended skating, and you created a piece of art. Congratulations, 5 stars. Elliot, congratulations. Wow, what a fun and amazing performance you were able to give on this piece. I love the character, the storyline you created here. You are a beautiful, talented skater, and I enjoyed seeing your choices for connecting the requirements while also telling a story. Bravo. The ending started to look a little bit more like a footwork sequence, but I liked that you were able to balance it out and finish it off in character. Again, my little critique is the ability to use the full ice surface. If we were paying for a performance in a regular ice arena, we would expect to see the piece in the full ice surface. So I guess my critique to all of you that chose to use just a portion of the ice, maybe give us an awareness of why you chose to just use a portion of the ice. For example, this piece was created for a stage that would be 40 by 60, and this is why I chose to use this stage space for this piece. Just a little bit of background to give us some context about why you didn't utilize the full space. Let's see, I would encourage you to keep pushing yourself and finding ways to create contrast and add interest, both with time, space, and energy. Overall, amazing work, Elliot. Congratulations, 4 stars. Catherine, congratulations. I applaud your work all season. I really love seeing how you've been able to put yourself out there and you're willing to take risks. Bravo. I enjoyed this piece with the reoccurring motif with the hand and the head, and I loved your choices to develop it with level change and variation, and I love that the piece had a storyline, a clear beginning, middle, and end. There was one little part after the Hydro Blade where Garrett falls and rolls on the ice where I was a little bit confused the first time I watched it. But I watched it again, and I really loved how it connected to the tour de force movement with the highlight of the music. So I thought that was an excellent choice. Overall, amazing work, both in this challenge and the competition. Keep taking those risks and breaking the rules. You are finding an audience. Congratulations, Catherine, 4 stars. Zabato. Wow, what an incredible performer and producer you are. Not only are you creating strong choreography and performance, but you're able to present it with high video quality, editing, music, the full package. You are spot on. This piece was clear in your intention, your theme was executed and developed in a variety of ways. You created climax with tour de force movements and exquisite musicality. You were the music, and I loved the variation of time and tempo to point out the nuances of the music. The use of energy and the quality of movement was incredible, and I liked the story had a beginning, middle, and end. My only note is that I would have loved to have seen you continue your body movement in the spin section to tie it into the piece. I felt like it was a little bit of filler, those spins, but I really liked how you developed that part where you bounced off the ice. Very creative and original. Also, keep developing your edge work and meld that body movement and edge work together. Overall, an outstanding performance. Congratulations, Zabato, 4.5 stars.